The first time you win, you think you finally figured something out. You are 23 years old. You walk into a casino on a Friday night with $80. You walk out with $640. It feels like discovering a secret nobody else knows. You sleep better that night than you have in months. You go back the following weekend, and the one after that. For a while, you keep winning. Not always, but enough. Enough to believe you are different from the others. Enough to believe you understand how this works. You don't. Nobody does. The house edge on most casino games sits between 2 and 15%. That means the longer you play, the more certain your loss becomes. Mathematics is patient. It always wins in the end. But you don't think about mathematics on a Friday night. You think about how it felt to walk out with $640. You think about doing it again. The first year feels like a hobby. You set limits. You keep track. You tell yourself you are in control. Control is the story every gambler tells themselves in the beginning. It is also the first thing the addiction takes away. By year 2, the losses start arriving faster than the wins. You chase them. That is what gamblers call it. Chasing. You bet more to win back what you lost. You stay longer than you planned. You drive home telling yourself next time will be different. Next time is never different. Your savings account drops below $1,000 for the first time since you started working. You don't tell anyone. Shame is quieter than money. It just lasts longer. You start borrowing, small amounts at first, from friends who don't ask questions, from credit cards that don't judge. You tell yourself it is temporary. You have heard that word before. By year 3, your debt reaches $11,000. You win it all back one Saturday night in March. Every single dollar. You stand at the cashier window holding more money than you have seen in 2 years. And instead of leaving, you go back to the floor. You lose it all before midnight. That night breaks something inside you. But you return the following Friday anyway. Because the only thing worse than losing is sitting alone with the thought that you lost. The casino understands this better than you do. That is why the lights never change. That is why there are no clocks on the walls. That is why the nearest exit is always past the machines. They designed this place for exactly the person you have become. Your relationships begin disappearing one by one. Your girlfriend leaves in the spring, not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones, cancelled dinners, borrowed money never returned, lies that were almost true. She doesn't leave angry. She leaves tired. That is worse. Your closest friend stops calling after you ask him for money the 3rd time. He doesn't explain why. He doesn't need to. You already know. By year 4, you have lost $38,000. That is not counting the relationships. That is not counting the promotions you missed at work because your mind was always somewhere else. That is not counting the years. You cannot count the years. You take out a personal loan to consolidate your debt. You use part of it to gamble. You are not stupid. You are addicted. There is a difference. Addiction rewires the brain's reward system. Studies show that problem gamblers process wins and losses differently than other people. The brain releases dopamine not just when they win, but when they almost win. The near miss feels like progress. It feels like the next bet is the one. It never is, but the feeling is real. And real feelings are very hard to argue with. You start lying better. To your family, to your employer, to yourself. You develop explanations that sound reasonable. You become very good at reasonable explanations. This skill will haunt you long after the gambling stops. Year 5 arrives without a celebration. Your total debt is now $51,000. You have not paid rent on time in 4 months. Your landlord sends a formal notice. You read it twice. Then you drive to the casino because you do not know how else to solve a money problem. This is the moment most people do not understand from the outside. Gambling stops being about fun somewhere in year 2. After that, it becomes the only solution your brain knows how to offer. Lost money. Bet more. Lost more. Bet more. The logic is broken. But broken logic feels like logic when you are inside it. The night everything changes is not dramatic. There is no single catastrophic moment. Just a Tuesday. Just you. Sitting in a parking lot outside a casino at 2 in the morning. Your phone shows a balance of $47. Your rent is due in 3 days. You have no one left to call. And for the first time in 5 years, you do not go inside. You just sit there. For a long time. Getting out is not one decision. It is thousands of small ones. Therapy, support groups, telling the truth to people who deserve it. Paying back money slowly. Very slowly. Rebuilding trust even more slowly than that. Gamblers Anonymous estimates that the average problem gambler affects between 10 and 17 people in their immediate circle. You count yours. You stop at 12. Recovery is not a finish line. It is a daily choice. Some days it is easy. Some days the old feeling comes back so clearly you can almost smell the casino floor. On those days you call someone. You go somewhere else. You wait. The feeling always passes. 5 years after that parking lot, you have paid off $39,000. $12,000 still remains. You have a small apartment. A job you can look at without shame. A few friendships that survived. Your brother still talks to you. That took 3 years to earn back. Someone asks you once why you started gambling in the first place. You think about it for a moment. Then you answer honestly. Because the first time I won, I thought I had finally figured something out. I spent 5 years trying to feel that again. I never did. And that is the part nobody tells you when the lights are bright and the first win feels like a secret. It was never a secret. It was a trap. And the door only locks from the inside.